The training grounds of the Orion Fleet Academy were carved into the cliffs of Vera 3, a planet notorious for its hostile terrain and unpredictable wildlife. It was here that the galaxy's most promising cadets learned to survive, fight, and lead in the harshest conditions. Among them was a human, 16-year-old Kayla Aaron, whose frail appearance and quiet demeanor often caused other cadets to underestimate her. But the Orion instructors had noticed something different, a precision in her movements, a patience in her eyes, and a calm that belied her youth. The simulation began at dusk. Kayla and her squad were deployed into a dense jungle, holographic predators patrolling the shadows and rogue AI combatants stalking the undergrowth. The objective was simple in theory: survive the night, eliminate targets, and extract critical data cores. In practice, it was designed to push every cadet to the brink. Kayla moved silently, her boots pressing against the damp soil, her breath measured. She had studied her opponent's patterns for weeks, memorized every twitch of the holographic predators, every predictable tactic of the rogue AI units. Her squad mates, larger and stronger, relied on brute force, sprinting through the jungle and firing indiscriminately. Kayla, however, waited, calculating her strikes. Hours passed with nothing but the distant calls of alien creatures and the rustling of leaves. Then, in a narrow clearing, a rogue combatant, a humanoid AI with reflexes faster than any human, appeared, scanning for movement. Kayla's pulse remained steady. She drew her energy blade, positioning herself behind a fallen log. The moment arrived. In less than a second, she moved, striking with a fluid precision that severed the AI's main power conduit before it could react. The machine collapsed silently, as if it had never existed. Cadets nearby froze, staring in shock. It was her first kill, executed with an efficiency that no one could dispute. By nightfall, her reputation had spread through the ranks. Cadets whispered her name in awe, calling her Death Whisper for the silent, unstoppable nature of her attack. Even instructors, seasoned warriors who had seen countless cadets, exchanged impressed glances. Kayla, however, showed no pride. She understood that survival required humility as much as skill. The rest of the night tested her further. Multiple rogue units, some larger and more formidable, descended upon the squad. Where her peers panicked, Kayla remained a silent strategist. She directed them with gestures and brief commands, coordinating ambushes and setting traps using the jungle terrain. Each strike was precise, each movement deliberate. By dawn, the squad had eliminated all hostile units, extracted the data cores, and survived unscathed. The academy instructors debriefed the squad the next morning. Kayla's performance was exceptional, not just for her first kill, but for the leadership she displayed under extreme conditions. "What you've demonstrated," said Commander Rax, a grizzled veteran, "is the rare combination of precision, patience, and instinct. Cadet Aaron, you will go far." Kayla's journey, however, was only beginning. The title Death Whisper followed her beyond simulations and into real combat. In subsequent missions against insurgent forces, alien warbands, and rogue AI battalions, she continued to refine her skills. Her reputation grew not through arrogance or spectacle, but through the quiet lethality of her actions. She became known as the cadet who could infiltrate, neutralize, and disappear before anyone even realized she had struck. Her first kill remained etched in her memory, not as a moment of pride, but as a lesson in responsibility. Every target she faced in the field was sentient, programmed, or real, and each required focus, restraint, and respect for the consequences of action. Kayla learned to balance efficiency with morality, instinct with strategy, and courage with foresight. Years later, Kayla rose through the ranks, leading elite units on missions that shaped the balance of power across multiple sectors. Cadets trained under her, learning the philosophy behind the Death Whisper moniker, that true strength lay not in brute force, but in silent precision, careful calculation, and the courage to act decisively when the moment demanded. Despite her fame, Kayla remained humble. She knew that every kill, every victory, carried weight, and that the title Death Whisper was a reminder not of glory, but of the responsibility that came with skill. And in the quiet moments between battles, she would recall the clearing in the Vera 3 jungle, where her first kill had taken seconds, and the moment she realized that silence, patience, and precision could change the course of her life forever. The galaxy remembered her tale. Her first kill was instantaneous. By nightfall, the human cadet earned the name Death Whisper. It became a lesson, a warning, and an inspiration to all who aspire to mastery, courage, and the quiet power of calculated action.